Hi everyone, in this video I would like to clarify a confusion that I have observed among several students who take dynamics. This is the start of the semester and you came into dynamics from statics and you are wondering what all these coordinate systems you are learning about and all this motion that you are learning about, how does any of this have to do with what you have learned in statics? I would like to tie those two together and give you a roadmap for what you can expect going into statics. Going into dynamics. So, statics and dynamics are both based on Newton's second law, which states that the sum of the forces acting upon an object are equal to that object's mass times its acceleration, as you can see here. Now, in statics, we had the simple case where the acceleration was equal to 0. That led to the very nice situation where you had 3 equations and 3 unknowns. A simple enough situation, and you can solve it. So the statics focuses you on the left-hand side of the sum of the forces equation and how to account for forces of various kinds, whether it's friction, tension, springs, trusses, you name it. In dynamics, however, the sum of the forces no longer equals 0. It now equals the mass times the acceleration. So what you now have is 3 equations and around 4 or more unknowns. So what dynamics does is that you do not know how to solve for the right-hand side of the equation, and it focuses on how to figure that out. So mainly what dynamics teaches you is how to account for different types of motion. It does so by setting you up with by teaching you how to use various coordinate systems like the XYZ coordinate system, rectilinear coordinate system, also known as tangent and normal, and polar coordinates. And as you go through the class, you will learn that different coordinate systems are convenient for different types of motion. But the main thing that the course is going to cover is it gives you additional equations of motion. And this is what allows you to have enough equations to solve for all of your unknowns. So what you actually can expect going into dynamics is that you will learn about a new type of motion, do some homework, a couple homework problems on that type of motion, and then you will do a sum of the forces problem of some sort where you have to evaluate the scenario and apply the type of motion that you have just learned to solve the sum of the forces problem. And then you will learn about a new type of motion and then go back to the sum of the forces and so on and so forth. A few other things you will learn along the way include conservation of energy, conservation of momentum, and impact, which are not quite the same as equations of motion. But that's generally what you can expect along the way. If you would like to see an example of this in play, you can check out my video on the pulley system. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll look forward to answering them. You guys have a good one.